Hey, I'm Jay Malone. I'm the owner of Passive Profits, and I do readouts of each of my newsletter posts each week. I do that because I prefer to listen to content that I'm learning and consuming. I do that while I'm on the go, at the gym, in the car. And if that's your preferred style of consuming this content, then this will be for you. If you do appreciate this and you want me to keep doing it, reply to this email and let me know. Okay, let's get into today's post then. How to build your first digital product. Follow the step-by-step process I used to build my digital toolkits. Today's post is part 2 in the Your First Product series. That's a 4-part series where I'm helping you turn one of your premium services into your first do-it-yourself digital product. It's a move that's going to help you expand your audience and strengthen your credibility while generating a new passive revenue stream. To do that, I'll share the process I used to build my first digital product, the Problem Framing Toolkit, which has been a game changer for scaling my service-based business. If you haven't read that article, by the way, go back and read it. It's a good story to help inspire and see just like sort of what went into building my first digital product. So today you'll learn the step-by-step process and tools I used. And by reading today's post, you will get an inside look of how I did it, save dozens of hours researching tools and platforms, avoid pitfalls that I made, and have a playbook to start building. We've got a lot to cover. Setting the stage. Before we dive into the actual building blocks, it's important to note that the best first digital product to build is a digitized version of a service you're already offering. Here's why. Say you're currently delivering your premium done for you or done with you service. You're proud of the results and your customers are delighted. Their referrals fill your funnel with a healthy supply of new work to fulfill. And still, you're leaving money on the table. Thing is, no matter how good you are, you're only capturing a sliver of the market. There's a whole world of potential customers who aren't quite ready to invest in your premium service offerings. By digitizing your services into an online course or a digital download, you'll capture the attention of these future customers while still generating revenue. These kinds of growth loops turn your marketing from a cost center into a profit center. For more background on digitizing services and additional foundational steps to take before building, read part 1 of the Your First Product series, How to Prep for Your First Digital Product. And now that the stage is set, let's walk through the steps to follow for building your first digital product. The building blocks. Here are the actions I took to build my first product, the Problem Framing Toolkit, a combo online course plus digital download. The toolkit is used by professionals working in product management. They use the toolkit to learn and apply a product discovery technique called problem framing, naturally. Let's take a look at the 5 components that went into building my toolkit. Number 1, worksheets and templates. 2, instructional videos. 3, written guide. 4, additional supporting resources, and 5, the creator platform itself. Now I'm going to break each of these down over the rest of this post, starting with number 1, worksheets and templates. If you're planning to build an educational product, such as an online course or toolkit, downloadable materials such as worksheets and templates are a great idea that your customers will appreciate. Worksheets and templates enable your customers to put theory into practice. Let's walk through each one so you know what they're about and how to create them. Worksheets. Worksheets are fairly simple for you to create and for your customers to use. Think about that accompanying PDF you got from a recent book you purchased. It probably included prompts for you to consider and an empty space to answer. That's a worksheet. Worksheets are perfect for helping your customers learn the material at a deeper level, draw their own conclusions, and commit to next steps. And in the post, you'll see that I included a picture from a book I read from Martha Beck, where I included a page from her set of worksheets that helped with helpful prompts and then gave me space to reflect and jot down my thoughts and ideas. Tools for creating worksheets. You got your basic Microsoft Word and Google Doc. It's as simple as it gets. Once you've created it, you can make it available as a standalone doc, export it to a PDF, share online access, or all of the above. Another tool is Notion. Notion created worksheets can be comparable to Word and Google Docs, but come with more flexibility. For example, foldering, styling, and adding attachments. Now that worksheets are over, let's get into templates. Templates tend to be a bit more involved in creating. They also go further than a worksheet in solidifying your customer's learning by putting it into practice. Some refer to templates as swipe files. They're files they've used and refined and then make available to their customers who benefit from not having to start from scratch. Templates are typically designed and blanked out grids of a lesson or activity that you taught in your course or toolkit. Your customer uses them to recreate that lesson or activity on their own or with others. To set your customer up for success with the templates, I suggest including detailed instructions as well as a completed example, which helps them see what good looks like. For my toolkits, I chose to build them in the same collaboration tools that my customers work: Miro, Mural, and Figma. Alternatively, you can keep your templates simpler by creating them with the same tools you use for worksheets: Word, Google Docs, Google Slides, and Notion. If you're just getting started or don't feel comfortable creating templates, go with a worksheet. But no matter which format, I recommend you include at least one. Now, why start the build process with these materials? By starting with the materials, it forces you to create a do-it-yourself version of the materials that can stand on their own. In other words, starting here constrains you to consider the must-haves to include for your customer to be successful. Additionally, once you have the materials, they'll serve as your blueprint for the instructional videos you create next. 2. Instructional videos. Now that you have your worksheets and templates, you can reverse engineer the core educational components of your digital product. I use videos from my toolkit so that I could show my customer what they were learning, how to apply it, and what the results would look like. I want to stress that before I created my toolkits, I had recorded and edited a total of 0 videos. I learned everything along the way and spent less than $200. And since then, there's been a tidal wave of affordable innovation to the tools and tech available. COVID was good for some things, right? No matter your age, gender, profession, or skill set, learning how to create video content is a skill that will provide exponential ROI for years to come. Setup. Recording. For my first toolkit, I used QuickTime for Mac to record my instructional videos. It was free, but it pales in comparison to my tool of choice these days, Loom. You're watching a Loom video right now. I pay for Loom's business plan. It has several pro features that I've come to rely on. In particular, their AI add-on is brilliant. It automatically creates video titles and summaries. It can also remove filler words like etc., and trim dead air. Huge time saver. We'll talk about creator platforms a bit later, but if your digital product directly links to your Loom videos, as opposed to streaming them inside of the creator platform, you'll also benefit from the ability to see engagement metrics and reactions, as well as communicate with your customers. Lighting. Just about any ring light with 4.5 stars and up on Amazon will do, but the best and most affordable light is the natural light you get by setting up in front of a window. If you're watching this Loom video and most of the videos that I create, there is no lighting. In fact, here, I'll show you. Turn my light on now. It helped. I mean, it's almost getting to dusk, but natural light is great. Camera. For my toolkit, I use my MacBook's native camera. Not only did the quality suffer, but the angle was off. In other words, it was pointing up my nose. You want your camera level with your face or pointing slightly down. For my second toolkit, I invested in a Logitech Brio. There are lots of webcams out there. Alternatively, if you're using a Mac and have an iPhone, ideally a 13 Pro or later, you can use the continuity camera feature to turn your iPhone into a webcam. For my first toolkit, I plugged my wired headphones into my Mac and clicked record. I've had 2 mics since then. My first was a Blue Yeti. It was good. I've since replaced it with a Rode NT mounted to a swing arm, which, if you're watching this video, the swing arm and the mic are right there. Still use them to this day. Editing. For additional editing, there are a gazillion video editing tools on the market. For my first product, I stuck with iMovie. It's free and provided me all the capabilities I could handle to trim, splice, and add music and add transition. Audio. While I don't recommend adding music through your videos, I'm going to start that again. Audio. While I don't recommend adding music throughout your videos, intro and outro music and sound effects add a professional touch. I use Audio Jungle for royalty-free music files. Don't spend more than $10 per file. There are plenty of decent tracks at this price point. If you go and check out the post, you'll see my setup with a breakdown of the different tools and tech that I pointed out so far. I want to encourage you to bring your style and stories. You don't need to be a trained Hollywood actor to create engaging videos. Being someone you're not will only stress you out and weird your customer out. Be yourself. Let your expertise and passion pour out. Whatever you do, remember to tell stories. Share your wins and losses. Share your setbacks and how you overcame them. Share your transformations. And then tie your stories together with data and outcomes people can see. This approach educates, engages, and entertains, which in turn helps your customers remember, resonate with, and refer your work. Additional best practices. Here's a couple additional things I've learned and recommend you adopt for your videos. Less than 5 minutes. Keep each video under 5 minutes. Greater than that, and you've probably included too much info for your customer to retain, which means they'll probably check out. 2, show yourself. Keeping your camera on while you teach, just like I'm doing right now, will make your customer feel you're there with them. Hello. Otherwise, it's like being the only person in a video call with your camera on. No bueno. 3, DIY first. Some people hate the idea of creating videos. I get it. I was originally intimidated by the process. Once I started, I was surprised how much I enjoyed it. I'm proud of everything I learned and created, and now when I outsource to pros, I know what I'm talking about and looking for. 4, best practices, outsource. If you won't do it yourself, find a pro to help you. I found some amazing and affordable videographers on Upwork. Review their portfolio for formats and styles you like. Share examples you like. And always start with a test project. Choose 2 to 3 videographers, pay each of them to create one video, and then award your project to the person who impresses you most. Last bit of advice, be patient. It will be tempting to try and compete with other creators who have been in the game for years. Don't do that. Your videos and your tech will get better over time. I speak from experience. For example, here's one of the very first video toolkits. Here's one of the first toolkit videos I created in 2020. After watching for 10 seconds, you'll notice that the camera angle is complete shit. I'm wearing wired earphones. It's kind of janky. The lighting is meh. And my welcoming video is nearly 8 minutes of me blabbing away in monotone. Yeesh. Now, contrast the one above to the refresh below that I created 2 years later. That one has intro and outro animation, music to add some vibe, better lighting and camera angle, dead air has been trimmed, it's brief and punchy, it's less than 2 minutes with a lot more energy from me. P.S. Other than the animations, I did everything myself. Okay, so we've covered worksheets and templates and instructional videos. Now we're on to section 3, written guide. Now you might be thinking, if I included instructional videos, why do I need a guide? The same reason some people refer to a book versus listen to it. So think about, like, it's the opposite right now. You're listening to something that I had written up. And some people prefer that. Other people would prefer to just read the text. The same reason people prefer to read a book versus listen to it, different people have different learning styles. And even then, the people who watch your videos will still find a written guide to be a helpful companion. A guide complements your videos and provides a structured approach to the process. It's your digital product's roadmap. Several of my toolkit customers have told me they started by watching the videos and then printed out the guide to keep in their back pocket. My guide was complete with images and illustrations to make the content more engaging and understandable. It additionally included suggested timing and materials to complete the activities along with pro tips. I tried to think about everything the user would need to be 100% successful without me there to coach them through. Tools for creating your written guide. You've got Word and Google Docs again. Now, word processors are the tools you already know and will keep your guide creation simple. Notion, you have a leg up on word processes. Let's try that again. Notion, you have a leg up on word processors with Notion's available templates and styling tools. Next one, PowerPoint or Keynote or Google Slides. If you want your guide to have more of a presentation feel, these are your go-to tools. I used Keynote to create an A4 formatted guide, or in the US, an 8.5 by 11. The last tool to consider is Canva. If you want more design horsepower, Canva's templates and styling options will add an extra hit of craftsmanship. Okay, we're on to section 4, additional supporting resources. To ensure my customer success with the toolkit, I included additional resources and case studies. These resources acted as support materials to provide additional context and enhance the learning experience. These complementary resources include write-ups on the materials such as blogs, social posts, newsletters, video material, tutorials, interviews, video podcasts, case studies to see how other customers have used the toolkit. Now, one component that you can also include as additional supporting resources are cross-sells and upsells. Having provided unquestionable value at this point in my customer's toolkit experience, I also include additional paid products I've created that will complement or extend the current product. For example, when you've had success using the problem framing toolkit, the next step in your journey is often to run a design sprint, and so I link to my design sprint toolkit. The design sprint toolkit then points to the next thing, and so on. By connecting your products in this way, you create an ecosystem of growth loops that generate self-sustaining revenue for your company. Does that get you all warm and fuzzy like it does for me? It really does. That's what I mean by growth loops. Okay, and fifth and finally is the creator platform itself that I use to build my toolkit. I organized all of the materials that I've talked about so far inside an online creator platform. I went with an online learning platform called Podia, although Thinkific and Teachable are excellent alternatives. By the way, in a future post, I'm going to do a full breakdown of all of the options of creator platforms. These platforms make it easy to host, market, sell, and manage your digital product. So let's wrap up. There you have it, the roadmap to turning your premium service into a digital product. It's a journey that's not only financially rewarding, but also creatively fulfilling. I hope my experience building the problem framing toolkit serves as inspiration for your own digital product creation. And this point is worth repeating. I built my first toolkit on my own and without any prior experience. I promise that you can do it too. Whether you choose to create an online course, a digital download, or a combination of both, you have skills and experiences people will pay money to learn from you. Remember to bring your unique perspectives and stories. Next up, we're moving from building to showcasing. Now that you have a plan for building your first digital product, it's time to show it off to the world. In part 3 of the Your First Product series, you'll learn how to create a landing page that your prospective customers will use to discover, review, and purchase your product. That post drops this Sunday, November 5th, 2023. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss it. And then stick around. In future posts, we'll cover your post-launch activities like marketing and selling, iterating your product, partnerships, and lots more. If you appreciated today's post, I'd love for you to review it below. Let me know how it's working for you, good or bad. I use this for feedback to make future posts better and better and more informative and helpful for you. And if you did appreciate it, please consider sharing it. There is a link in the post to share the newsletter. We welcome 34 new readers this week, and I'm looking to grow that each week more and more. I'm excited about it. Hope you enjoyed today's post. See you in the next one.